May is Maytag month at Lowe's. Save on our exclusive selection of Maytag appliances with collections found only at Lowe's. Get up to $200 via prepaid card by mail on your purchase of select Maytag major appliances, a brand you know and trust. Shop in store or at Lowe's.com. Lowe's, home to any budget, home to any possibility. Manufacturer's rebate. Prepaid card amount varies based on purchase. Offer valid through 6/2. Exclusions, terms, and restrictions apply. U.S. only.
The following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man in my thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't trust me, big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy, big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC. Always love the clothes of Jimmy. British punk, yo, wanna be, Jimmy Star, new celebrity. We'll take you out to Jimmy Star's, he'll dress
Hello. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We're happy to be back, and we've been gone. We missed last week. I'm happy people are tuning in. We want to say hi. We've got Angie in the chat room, Teresa Sabins in the chat room, Backpack John. I know more people are on their way. We're going to have a fun show for you guys today. Before we get started, I want to make sure everybody knows that Claudia Wells had a conflict with actual work, so we're switching her out, and she's coming back on in July. And so today we're going to be having Michael Dineen coming on as our first guest, and then he's a great, cool author. And our second guests are going to be Devin DeVasquez and Ronn Moss. So now, without further ado, let's say hello to the amazingly, fabulously talented and gorgeous, coolest man about town, Mr. Ron Russell. Hello, Ron.
Is he so full of crap? I mean, really, Jimmy, blow it out your ass. Anyway, yes, we're here. God knows how we got here. Did you ever fly with a stopover to New York from Palm Springs? If you did, you know what I'm talking about. The most horrible, disgusting flight I have ever been on in my entire life. And I have flown all over the world, all right? Crowded in a little crummy plane. They gave us water and pretzels. I mean, that's like when you're in jail, they give you bread and water. What in the hell am I going to do with warm water in a bottle and pretzels? But anyway, that's your treat, your little snack. They say, hi, would you like a snack? I said, oh, I'd love a snack. And we flew. We've been flying for days, it seemed. And then we arrived in Dallas. I needed a wheelchair because the walk from our plane to the other plane is like miles and miles and miles. And we didn't know that we had to get in a train. So I'm in a wheelchair in a train, but the wheelchair doesn't lock. And as the train is rolling around, so am I. I hit a few people with the wheelchair. Then finally I ended up hitting a wall, which secured me till we got to our next flight. Wheelchairs were not where they're supposed to be. Attendants were not there. I'm sorry, but America doesn't take care of its people that need. I don't want to call us ill people or broken people, but people who have had surgery.
Assistance.
Yeah, like I had. I'm not. What is the word? Handicapped. I am not handicapped. I had a surgery that didn't require me to walk a lot. So people that have some kind of a condition should have a wheelchair, and Americans should see to it that they get it. But they didn't. Anyway,
we spent 4 hours on the phone making sure he had a wheelchair. Then we got to Dallas. The wheelchair wasn't there. Then by the time the wheelchair got this, the guy left us there and didn't take us to the gate. So we missed the flight, and we had to go take another flight because they were lax. So
that's all bullshit where I come from. We call that bullshit. That's the way of today. 30, 40, 50 years ago, we flew 747s. The attendants, the stewardesses had skirts, little tops, little cute hats. We ate meat food. They said, you have a choice, sir, of chicken or steak. Which would you like? And they did. And they brought it to you on a tray, and you had chicken or steak, whichever you preferred, and a dessert and a coffee. And next thing you know, you were in New York, and it was nonstop from LA. It was 5.5 hours, 6-hour flight. Beautiful. Lots of room for your legs. They showed a movie, or some 747s. You went up a spiral staircase to a cocktail lounge upstairs. I flew with my wife and child on the maiden voyage when the 747 came back from LA to New York to pick up passengers to fly back to LA. And there was a baby grand piano on board. And they were singing in the back and drinking. I mean, this is how flying was wonderful. Everyone dressed beautifully and appropriately for a flight. Today, 2 guys got on. I mean, from 2 gay guys. They must have been just left the gym because they had big muscles and muscles all over. But they had on T-shirts with straps and little
tank tops.
Yeah, and little girl shorts.
Gym shorts.
Little gym shorts with the cracks of their asses hanging out, and gay little socks and sneakers. I mean, these big burly guys dressed like that look like stupid. They look like girls with muscles. Anyway.
The whole event was terrible. The flight home was absolutely terrible.
Except when we got to Texas and we had to get the Palm Springs flight. Then there were like 5,000 gay guys getting on. I mean, one gay after another. It was amazing. And the women that got on were all blonde and blue-eyed and looked good. So it was there's a different system of people from certain places.
Yeah, but we missed all the different flights. We got to LaGuardia Airport, and they were supposed to have a wheelchair for them there. They didn't have a wheelchair. Then I had to push the wheelchair uphill to get to the baggage claim.
While pulling his computer equipment.
My computer equipment with my busted knee. It was just a nightmare. But we got there, and then we had a pretty good time for a couple of days, even though the weather was absolutely disgusting.
Atrocious. The weather was atrocious. It was 40 degrees, and it was freezing cold. Raindrops that hit my head. Raindrops like the song? Not really. Raindrops that kept hitting my head were ice cold. Cloudy, gloomy, damp, humid, horrible, disgusting weather. For the entire time we were there, night and day, rain.
Like 40 degrees and 50 degrees.
We had to use umbrellas to get to the car with wet feet. It was, who the hell wants to live back east? Not me. Even though I said how much I would love to live back in New York, I couldn't take the climate.
It was really bad.
We're spoiled out in Palm Springs. It never rains, and we have sunshine every day. We can plan a party 4 months from now, and it will be a beautiful evening, and we can do it out of doors. There's a difference. When you're young, you can tolerate anything. You're like rubber. You bounce back. But when you get older, it's very difficult to deal with cold and damp weather.
So we also want first, everybody wants to see your watch.
Oh, it's only my white one I wear often because I'm wearing a white shirt with a sequin
they
snake.
Still want to see it.
Yeah, it's a 40.
49. And then I want to thank everybody because everybody in the chat room sent lots of birthday wishes for Ron.
Yes.
We had a beautiful party, so thank you so much. And
I mean, I had so many well wishes from so many wonderful people, and they wrote such nice things, caring about my health and wishing me, all sorts of wonderful stuff. And I thanked you all on Facebook. I couldn't do it individually, but I did one big thank you to everyone.
So B. Claudia has joined us from Germany. Dawn Hinton is with us. Teresa Saban, thank you. She sent me tons of messages. She's in Florida. It's going fast, and I don't actually know. I know Pack John said, Miss Kim is there. Hey, Miss Kim, how you doing? Hope all is well. Our next big event coming up.
Who's Miss Kim?
Artist Miss Kim. I don't know. She's there every week.
Okay.
Say hi.
I don't know her.
Yes, you do. Like we talk about her. We talk to her every week.
Yeah, but I don't know her. I've never had her on our show. I've never seen her face.
No, we don't know her. We don't have her face, but she's on Facebook. The best part is you're still here, Ron, she says. And Angela Joseph is also there. She's in Las
Angie,
Vegas.
baby, it was so good seeing you.
We saw Angie, you guys, the Friday night before we left.
We went to Santa Clarita, and she made this incredible meal for everybody. I wasn't eating at the time, still not an appetite after surgery. But everybody else enjoyed what she barbecued and cooked. It was a lovely evening.
Yeah, we had a great time. It was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
When Diane was there and
Larry.
Al and
Larry.
Oh, yeah, Larry. It was fun. We had a really good time, and now she's in Las Vegas doing something. So we had a good time. We want to thank everybody for all the well wishes. We want to thank everybody showing up for the chat room. We're back now. Our next big event, I think, is the Clown Motel 2 premiere on June 26th. And
if I seem a little weird sometimes, it's because I'm not fully recovered yet. It takes 12 weeks. I'm only in my 8th week since surgery. And every now and then I get sort of a loss of energy. I don't know why, but I get I just ran 100 miles. So if I seem to be blah for a second, not that I'm bored, it's just that whatever is happening happens.
Angela's in Las Vegas working on Arena Wars, the Mahal brothers' new film that a lot of people we know are in. So that's why she's in Las Vegas.
What's the Reno Awards?
Arena Wars is the name of the movie.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
We want to say hi to Terry and John too. We want to thank Eileen. I don't think she's in the chat room because she's at Mickey Burns's. But we want to thank Eileen for hosting us for the weekend, and we want to also thank and say hello to Ron's friends, Terry. I guess Ron and my friends, but first Ron's friends, Terry and John. We had a great time seeing them. That's one of Ron's oldest friends.
And Colin who is her Eileen's best friend and roommate, did a brilliant job as a host. He really made us feel comfortable, warm, and welcome.
Yes, and we had a great time. And we actually met we met Wendy Stewart Kaplan and her husband Alan live. They came and showed up with us, and also Billy Hess was there with Mark. And then they were going to Fire Island for the weekend, but it was a lot of fun.
We never got to Fire Island because I wasn't about to go on a ferry in the rain, freezing cold, to go to an island where nobody would be. So we all stayed at Eileen's house. It was sort of held up. And I got to get out to the Hamptons for a minute, but we never got as far as East Hampton, which I like. We went to West Hampton and had coffee and little things and stuff. And then it was just not nice to be out. You wanted to stay indoors. It was terrible.
I give a shout out to Stefan.
It was a winter day.
Stefan's just texted me that he's listening, and Tina's probably listening. So hello to them.
Hey, Tina and Stefan, how are you?
We're gonna have a fun show, you guys. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. It's our first week back. We got a bunch of great shows planned over the next, I guess, 4 or 6 weeks. I got a bunch of really good people coming on. It's gonna be a blast, and we'd love if everybody listens to us on Apple Podcasts, because I'm trying to get our numbers up on Apple Podcasts. So you'll see me tweeting out the link, and if you guys could share it, that would be awesome. And this is Astro. Astro totally missed Ron. And
he went wild when the thing is blocking him. He went wild when I came home. He hasn't left my side, and all he does is kiss me and look at me and smile. He loves his daddy. I missed him so much. You know, you have a little pet at home and you go away. You really do miss them like kids.
Eileen has a spotted wiener dog. I forget, what do you call that dog?
Dog, I don't know.
And her name is Fiona. She's adorable.
Cutest thing.
The cutest thing ever. So we loved it.
She's also a 7-pound dog. Astro's 7 pounds. Astro, say hello. Hang on a minute.
Okay, hang on a minute, everybody. So here's Astro. Astro, look at everybody. Say hi. Isn't he the most cutest thing ever? Hey, Astro, hi. Look at him. Look at his daddy. Oh, my gosh. We missed him so much. Dachshund. There you go. Backpack John's got it. So Backpack John does not know what a glory hole is, but he knows what a dachshund is.
I don't think it was a dachshund.
Yeah, it is a dachshund.
Called something else.
No, it's like the spots have a special name.
Right.
But it's a spotted dachshund. That's right. Oh, my God. That's so funny. So Backpack John got that right. And I will too, Teresa. I'll send you the link. So it is a dachshund. It's adorable. And everything should be good today. You guys are going to love our guests. You guys know Ronn Moss. He's a super famous soap opera actor and actor. He's also in Player, the band that does Baby Come Back. He's freaking super awesome. And his wife, Devin DeVasquez, is as a model, actress, producer. She pretty much does it all. And she won the very first Star Search Supermodel contest, which is awesome. Oh, and I got to write something down so I don't forget it. So talk for a second.
What do you have to write down?
Just something.
Okay, I'll talk for a second. The first guest is going to be interesting because I'm sure he and I know a lot of people. He's from Long Island. He lived in Huntington, and I understand from his book, was born in Jackson Heights. So I'm sure we have stories to share together. It should be very interesting about gangsters. Well, there were a lot of gangsters where we grew up.
He's a lot younger, though, than you are.
How old is he?
He's young.
How young?
I don't know know exactly. Maybe I don't know exactly. Probably like younger than me.
Well, I'm 50. How old is
There
he?
you go.
Oh, I can be 50 if I want. Who are you to tell me what age to be? Right? Right. If you want to be any age you are, you can be, ladies and gentlemen. Do not let the years be who you are because they trick you. You know, sometimes you're 80 or 90 and you feel 20. Don't be 80 or 90. Be 20. Don't let the years trick you. There should be a song.
Age is just a number, which you're right. Age
is just a number. So is Jimmy just a number.
That's right.
A quick number.
No. Michael's in the green room, so we can go ahead and bring him
Michael's in the green room planting potatoes. There he is.
Hey, Michael, how you doing? Oh, I don't hear anything.
How you doing, guys? I'm a little low. I can't hear you guys that great.
That's not good.
Try smiling. There you go.
Hey, heard that though.
Now it's been hard with the week I've had, but I'll be okay.
Now you look like you want to be on our show. If you don't smile, I have to go over there and kick you in the teeth.
Yeah, I'm good. Believe me, I want to be on.
Good, then smile or you're getting the fuck off.
Hey, Michael, they're asking, do you have any headphones that you can plug in to your computer or your phone or not?
Actually, I don't.
Okay, they were just asking. She's asking if you can see it.
Are you hearing us through your computer?
I actually have it on the phone right now because I don't have a camera on my computer.
There you go. Okay, so that's fine.
What, the feds confiscated it?
Yeah, that's one of the problems that have when you do what I was doing. You lose everything. You know, they confiscate everything on you.
So, everybody, this is Michael Dineen. Michael Dineen. He is the author of Suburban Gangsters, which I'm going to hold up that everybody can see. It's available on Amazon. It's Suburban Gangsters, a compelling tale of life in the drug trade, which we're going to talk about a little bit. He's got a copy of it, too. It's available on Amazon. It's got many, many 5-star reviews, and it's a really interesting book, and we're going to talk a little bit about it first, because Ron is also from New York.
Yeah, I know Jackson Heights well, where you were born, and Huntington. I had a house out in Huntington years ago.
Oh, you did? How did you like Huntington? You liked it out here?
Well, we had a driveway so long with like trees around it, and snakes were in the fields, and I never saw snakes, and snakes came on the driveway. I know I didn't like living in Huntington because we were very remote. This is back in the 70s. Huntington was still a woods, not like it is today. And I preferred I moved out to Setauket, which I found to be a little more open, and I don't know, whatever it was. But no, Huntington was okay. I lived there for about a year and a half. I had a ranch house I bought for $35,000. All brick.
See, that's how you know he's talking a long time ago, because you can't buy shit for $35,000 now.
All brick with
$35,000. That's many decades ago.
Wait a minute, with a brick wall in the kitchen that had a brick oven. How do you like that?
You don't see too many of those these days.
This house today is probably $1.3 million or $1.4 million, but it was $35,000 then, and that was a lot of money. $35,000 back in the late 60s was a lot of money. All you do today is add a zero. Okay, if you bought a house for $35,000,
add like 4 zeros.
put another zero, and it's $300. Well, that's what it was. Now you have to add 2 more zeros.
Yeah, that's right. It's a lot of money. So now, where are you now? Where do you live now?
I live in. I'm actually in South Huntington, which is close to the Walt Whitman Mall.
Yeah, I know where you are.
It's not too far from the Expressway and the Northern State Parkway and stuff.
Yeah.
So when you're coming out, like if you're coming from the city, you get off on Route 110 and start heading north. And I'm about maybe 3-4 minutes off the Expressway.
Yeah, I know exactly.
But you can keep going further, and Huntington's got a nice village here, about 5 miles if you keep taking 110 north. Really, really nice down there.
There used to be a good Italian restaurant on the main street, which I forgot what it's called, but it's a street what the mall is on, the big avenue next to the mall. And it was an Italian restaurant, and it was called La Parma maybe, or La Stella, or one of those names. Do you remember
How long ago?
30 years ago, 20 years ago.
La Palma. That's actually on Jericho Turnpike. That place is fantastic.
No, I don't mean that La Parma, because we used to have a piece of that La Parma. My ex-partner, Sal DeGeorge, used to be involved with that one. No, they built one on, I forgot the name, maybe Smithtown Road? No, the road that goes to the mall. It runs parallel with the mall. It's a road.
That would be New York. Yeah, that would be Route 110.
Probably. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
And it turns into New York Avenue.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So I'm on Long Island. We were just on Long Island yesterday, and it was raining and freezing and disgusting. We had the most horrible vacation.
Yes, we were there. The weather was terrible.
Terrible.
We're there, and the day we're there, it's sunny, and then it rains, and it's freezing every day until we leave. It was terrible.
We were out in Middle Island.
You know. Oh, you guys just left. I was wondering why it suddenly cleared up.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you know it the day we left? It's 85 now and sunny. You know that. Well, I was a toss-up of whether to move back east or not, and I needed somebody to guide me, and I kept telling Jimmy, I wish somebody would tell me what to do. Well, now I know what to do. Stay in Palm Springs, where it's sunny, hot, and never rains, and it's wonderful. That's
great. I would definitely recommend that to stay there.
Yeah, but you know what? There are no people like New York people. And no matter where you travel in the country or the world for that matter, nobody's like a New Yorker. New York people are a breed of their own. You know that. We have our own style, our own way of being friends, our way of being friendly. When you leave New York, people are not quite so friendly. It's more of an acquaintance kind of relationship. I knew a man that lived in California. This was years ago, for about 45 or 50 years. And he said he never made a friend. And I thought, okay, maybe it's because he stinks and nobody likes him. But it's difficult. No, it's difficult to make a friend when you're not in your town. New Yorkers have coffee together. They go out to dinner. They talk different. They act different. They think different. People are afraid of me out here because I curse and I get tough sometimes. Like I said to you, I'll kick you in the teeth. That's a New York thing of affection. But out here, if you say to some of these native Californians, I'll kick you in the teeth, they call the police and you're arrested. They don't get it that it's a joke. So you have to watch your P's and Q's when you live out of New York. I mean, in New York, we walk up to each other and say, hey, fuckface, how are you? I haven't seen you in a long time. Now, if I ever said that to a friend in Palm Springs, hey, fuckface, they would drop dead. They would fall down on the floor. They wouldn't know what the hell
in New York, we have a perverse sense of humor, and we have that swagger that you don't see anywhere else in the country.
You're right.
You're right. And when we're friends, we're friends. We're not acquaintances. We help each other out. No, I mean, my generation anyway. Anyway, it's not that way anymore in California. I love and I'm staying here. Period. So let's get to your book.
So, okay, you guys. So here's Michael's book again. On the back, it says about the author. Michael P. Dineen grew up in Huntington, Long Island, New York. He studied and taught karate for over 20 years. He was a trainer to professional athletes. After high school, he pursued a life of crime for more than 20 years and survived to tell his story. His story. So tell us a little bit about, because I've read about half the book, and I also read all the reviews that were on Amazon, which you have phenomenal reviews, which, it's hard to get a review on Amazon for a book. So the fact that you have like 45 of them or something is really impressive. So tell us, how did the book come about?
The book actually was the product of kind of my life story and some of the people that I had been involved with since I was a late teenager. When we were younger, we started getting into drugs at a young age. And by the time we were in high school, none of us were paying attention to school or taking it seriously or anything. And what we did is we gave ourselves limited options moving forward. And once we were kicked out of school or dropped whatever it was, Michael, we needed to start making money.
Hang on,
Michael. I want to interrupt you. We need to know the year you were talking about. What years were this?
Okay, this is 1984.
Okay.
There you go. Okay.
So, we wanted to make money. Everybody around seemed to be making money at that time, and we didn't have many options. And suddenly, with the explosion of the cocaine and the crack cocaine, it gave us an opportunity to at least give it a try. So we jumped into the pool hip deep and started at it. And what started out as what we thought would be a smart move became a very bad career move for all of us in the end.
Absolutely. So one thing I find interesting about the book, and it shows that you actually are a really intelligent guy. So like maybe you made some bad choices, but the book is written very well. And I've read all over the place how you basically like didn't pay attention to school after like ninth grade, and that you probably would have been really good in school, but you didn't pursue it. It's written extremely well by someone who sounds extremely educated and who's been through a lot. So I wanted to congratulate you on that because it's written very, very well.
Or did somebody write the book for you?
No, I did it all myself, believe it or not. I couldn't find anybody to help me. I would love to have had some help, but I had to do it myself.
I want to bring out a little story for you about drugs, coming from Brooklyn and then living in Astoria, Queens. The name Michael Papa, does that ring a bell? Does that mean anything to you, Michael Papa?
No, not offhand.
Not at all. Okay. He used to supply all the drugs to Studio 54, to Rebel. And he lived in Bell Boulevard in Bayside. And they found he and his wife shot to death.
Oof.
Yeah, well, this is what happened back. This was back in the 60s or 70s, early 70s. And this is what happened in Queens. Every day I'd read or hear about another guy got killed, another guy was shot, or they got the necktie where they cut his throat and pulled his tongue through. What is it? The Cuban
right.
So what have you got?
Necktie, they called it.
Right. So what have you got to say about the danger of what you did?
That's where this book has its most profound impact, I believe. I try to explain to people what it was like back then, the amount of violence. It was everywhere, and it was so profound. The death toll soared. Once the crack cocaine hit in like 84, 85, it just rose and rose and rose. I think in 1990, we had a record that year of 2,245 murders in New York City alone.
Wow, that's a lot.
And it was a horrible time to live as far as with the danger and stuff like that. There were people that ended up getting killed in the story. One of them happens to be, I changed the names in the book and everything, but Dee Snider from Twisted Sister, his brother-in-law was one of the victims in it.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm actually friends with his son, with Dee Snider's son. We've had him on the show, Jesse, about, 3 or 4 times.
But that was the problem back in those days. People were being killed right and left. They thought nothing of shooting you just for a stupid reason, not for a good reason. It was like everybody was afraid that everybody else was a rat or going to cut in on their deals. People were paranoid, and I believe it's because the drug dealers took drugs. And when you're on drugs, you hallucinate and you get all kinds of wild thoughts. And a lot of those killings were done while people were high. Had an argument.
Absolutely.
Pulled out a gun and shot 3 people. So it was a dangerous time. Now, how did you get around the police? The police were definitely aware of what was going on. They're not stupid. I know of a fact that the police knew every move and everyone that dealt drugs in New York City. They just couldn't do anything about it because the higher ups were paying the cops off. What do you think about that?
Well, it's an interesting story with me. By 1985, the cops were well aware of what me and my crew were doing out here. And, they started surveillance with us from time to time, and we became a big thorn in their side. But what happened is a few years down the road, when some of the players started getting busted, I came up with, around 1991, my training partner and dealing partner had gotten busted. They didn't actually get the cuffs on him. He ended up escaping and taken off to California, but they shut him down. So what I did, I knew my days were numbered at that point. The cops were zeroing in on me. So what I did is I had to deal with a police officer that I became friends with, and I started working for him as a voluntary informant.
Oh, wow.
So he gave me basically the green light.
So you
gave me the green light.
Yeah, but you were a squealer.
To go ahead and deal while I was working for him.
Now, you were a squealer, okay? Plain English. Let's talk turkey here. We don't bullshit on our show. You were a
I turned
squealer.
rat, there's no doubt.
Wait a minute. You were a squealer. You were ratting on the crowd. Didn't you worry that they were going to come after you and your family? If they found
Not at
out.
all, because I knew I could handle myself better than anyone that was coming after me. Most of these people, they wouldn't even think twice about testing me. I had taken karate for 10 years at that point. I was extremely capable, and I handled myself very well, as did most of the people in my crew. This game is about survival, though. Like, people can call me a rat, they can say what they want, but in the end, there is one thing that counts, and it is survival. It's either that or jail. There's no other ending that's going to come out of it.
Or death. Yeah, like, yes. So,
Well, I know a lot of people from Brooklyn years before you, many years before you, who ratted. And they were put in these protection things where they put them out in Arizona, whatever. But then
witness protection.
Witness protection. But then like 3 or 4 years later, we would find out, guess what? Louis, who they sent out to Arizona, he had a car crash. He was killed. So they eventually get you. They'll wait. You know, the mafia, or whoever want to call it, organized crime or gangsters, they don't kill you right away. They wait. And they wait many years, sometimes 10 years.
How long has this been for you? So, yeah, but you're like 20-something years past it.
This all went down. Like, the big bust, I worked not only with the police, but with the feds, with the Drug Enforcement Administration. We put together a massive bust for them where they swept the whole town. They arrested 30 people. They took about 40 cars, 3 houses, boats, everything, you name it. This all happened like 1992, I believe it was.
Oh, so that's almost 30 years ago.
So it's been a really, really long time. And I wasn't ratting on the mafia at that time. It was independent criminal organizations in play here. And so they were a little less dangerous as far as their being able to be capable to pull something like that off, you know?
But my point I was making before Jimmy tuned in was, do you have nights where you look over your shoulder worrying possibly somebody who went to jail is now out of jail and is waiting to get you? Because ultimately, this is what happens. Anyone that does time because of a squealer will wait. And they sort of organize their own little group, you know, like 2 or 3 guys that agree. They said that fucking guy's a rat. Let's get him. And they all like it. And they organize this kind of a peculiar way, like, you know, you become a drug overdose job, or you become a car crash, or just somebody runs you over. Are you afraid because you did this that maybe there's somebody out there lurking to get you? That's the question.
Absolutely not. Although when the book came out 2 years ago, everyone started to read it around town. The one guy that we set up really bad, who did a lot of time, he found out finally there was me and my other partner that ratted him out. About 3 months ago, he slashed my father's tires.
Well,
yeah, so you got to be careful.
That was your throat. He just got the tire first, you know, so you should have protection of some kind. You have to inform the police of all these people, who they are. In the event anything happens to you, they know who to go after. Because what you did was a very dangerous thing. You know, I grew up in Brooklyn, Red Hook, hung out in Mill Basin and in, you know, all those places. And I know a lot of the old timers. You could do anything, but never squeal. If you squeal, it was like the worst thing you could do. You were really a low-life, no good person, and they would kill you. So I think it took a lot of guts for you to come out and to do that. What made you even think about it without any hesitation that maybe it would be dangerous?
For me, it was a survival instinct. Back around the 80s, after Henry Hill basically did what he did, the days of the omerta and the not talking to the police and all that stuff, that went by the wayside. That was a bygone era at that point. And everything is fair game. What happened in the 80s is everything became a totally different hustle game now, where anything goes. Anything can happen. There are no rules anymore that you play by, which made it even scarier.
Were you in jail?
So I did that for survival.
Were you in jail then? Did you have to serve time?
I didn't get caught with anything major. The only time I spent in jail I fell to a drug addiction at one point, and that's when I started getting arrested. I sold millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of drugs for years. Never got even a ticket. But then when I started using drugs, all of a sudden I started getting busted every other week for petty stuff. I never did a lot of time. I was in and out. A few weeks here, a month there, a few weeks here, a month there. Nothing major.
And how long? And how long have you been out of the life? Well, you are out of
I've been
it,
out
right?
of it a long time ago. I finally got clean and sober in 2009. After, I battled a very bad heroin addiction, which nearly cost me my life. And it was very, very difficult. I kind of did it in stages. But yeah, about 10 years I've been away from all that now.
Good for you. Congratulations.
What do you do now legitimately?
Well, my goal here is it's kind of, I wrote this book and I'm trying to press. I want to get a TV series out of this because it'll be phenomenal drama. And I believe if someone takes the time to sit down and talk with me, think this thing through, we can come up with something epic along the lines of a Sopranos or The Wire or something in that field, Yep. That's what I'm pushing for. That's my main goal in life right now. And that's what I'm going to do and see it through until I get it done.
But in the meantime, are you working at Burger King?
No, I'm not. I am. I've got a little money coming in. It's enough to get by on and live on right now. I'm taking care of my father right now. He's got some dementia, so I'm kind of a little trapped right now. I'm trying to just get by day to day with him.
Don't you think that you're being watched to see exactly where your income is and how much you spend? Because you are,
Oh, I'm not doing anything illegal, so I'm not worried about that at all.
No, not even that.
Did you save any?
No, I mean, you can't even spend, like if you went into a casino and dropped $300, they know that you're under surveillance. Don't think for 1 minute they have forgotten you. Because I know friends of mine, we went gambling. And one of them was throwing $100 bills into the machine and won $16,000. And everybody had a fit and they yelled at him and they said, "What are you, stupid? We're being watched. You're not supposed to do that." So you have to really live the rest of your life.
That was like
no.
It
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Jimmy. Gang is gang. Call it what you will. It's all the same thing. Selling a drug, you could do it as a school teacher or you could do it as a drag queen. Anybody could sell a drug. Look at Fire Island, all the queens that sell drugs. There are more drug dealers on Fire Island on the season, and they're in drag. I mean, who would ever choose a drag queen as a drug dealer? Anybody could be a drug dealer, right?
Anybody. And especially when I came up in the 80s, that's what ended up happening. It invaded every avenue of American life. Every type of person was using, selling, involved in it some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. I mean, I knew a lot of dealers back, and I've never taken drugs, and not because I'm goody two-shoes, because I had a father who was very strict, and I was raised with every day my father telling me, no drugs, no drugs, no drugs, so brainwashed me. I have no desire to be high. I got high a couple of times, hated it. I wasn't in control. I felt stupid. I acted stupid, and I never did it again. So I went through the whole drug route without any problems my entire life. That's why I'm 81 years old and I'm still alive and I'm healthy. I've never abused my body with liquor or drugs. Not that I'm Mr. fucking Wonderful, but I've seen what it did. No. I've seen. Look.
Excuse me. Did you just say you were 81?
Yeah, mate. I just turned 81 yesterday. Friday. Yeah.
Dude, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh. God bless you, man. You look tremendous.
Thank you. But growing up in Astoria, I had so many friends who OD'd, who killed themselves because they couldn't handle it. My cousin Edward Brenter, it was in the newspapers, so I'm going to tell you a story. His wife left him, and he was a druggie, a big-time druggie. So what did he do? He went in the house. He shot his wife to death. He shot his children to death. And then he put the house on fire and he shot himself to death. This is in the newspaper. It was a big, big thing in the Daily News. All because of drugs. Okay? If he wasn't so hung up on drugs, he could have dealt with the fact that his wife was leaving him. But to kill your children, two beautiful little girls, you got to be crazy. So we know that people who deal drugs are mentally not fit while they are high. they are capable of doing anything. Am I right?
Absolutely. And you bring that up, it brings me to, I wrote about one in the book, a certain thing that happened called the Palm Sunday Massacre. I believe it was in 1984 or 85. This guy who was seeing some girl who he thought that she was, some dealer was having an affair with or whatever. So he goes to the dealer's apartment one day. The dealer's not there. It happens to be set up for a daycare that day. There's 11 children or 10 children there and 2 daycare workers. A guy just kicks in the door and shoots and kills everybody.
Terrible.
Yeah, I think
children. I'm talking about little young children.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Because he was hot.
Well,
so you're right. Drugs can make you do a lot of crazy stuff.
We know for a fact that drugs have brought crime in our country to its ultimate height. There are more burglaries, rapes, kidnaps, and killings. In fact, I'm in a movie soon that Jimmy just produced about slave trade. We deal in all these subject matters in films, and we try to get the point across that, listen, being involved in a drug world or hanging out with druggies and getting loaded and doing anything you can for another fix, like let's go steal my grandmother's silver, I need some heroin. That's not constructive shit. And the people that do this, unfortunately, are primarily black people. If you go to Harlem and all the black areas, drugs are all over the place. We shot a movie on the east side of New York called Batteries Are Not Included. And
this is like forever ago.
This is years ago, but it doesn't matter. When we were walking around the empty lots where the buildings were knocked down, we were told wear boots because the hypodermic needles are laying in the grass, possibly with AIDS in them from people who use them. Now, in the empty lots of hypodermic needles, I mean, in such a quantity, in such a big area, that's a little frightening to think that there were children in that neighborhood who did play in these empty lots. So America has gone crazy with drugs, as has the world. I think it's time that we clean it up, go sober, be constructive. They talk about diversity. Yes, I believe in diversity, but let's clean up the drugs first, then let's get diverse. Because to be diverse with drug addicts ain't going to work.
So,
amen. And that's one of the things I've talked about recently in one of my interviews, how this thing has got to, we have got to do something to try and get ahead of this thing before the next generation suffers, catastrophic losses like this one is suffering now. And it will continue to only get worse unless we have a serious effort to try and curb this at some point.
Right. Now,
it has to be done.
I read the beginning of your book, and then we landed, and I had a nervous breakdown because I couldn't get a wheelchair. So your book I didn't finish. At the end, do you teach this? Do you say drugs don't pay? Do you put the message in your book?
Yes, I make it a point to say basically do not even think about following in my shoes. I raised a couple of good points in the end in the epilogue. And, one thing I desperately hoped would not happen is this. I don't want anybody romancing this story. There's a lot of wild stuff that goes on as far as the criminal aspect with some robberies and things like that. But I don't want people to look at this stuff and think that stuff is all right, because it is not.
Right,
I just happen to be caught up in an amazing story at the time. Believe me, I regret it to this day. But I'm hoping I could take that story and bring something good out of it and make something positive happen out of it.
Now, Michael, did your parents drug educate you? As far as telling you?
My parents were both really good people. What's that?
Like telling you that drugs are bad, not to do them, they're destructive, you'll ruin your body. Did they tell you all these things growing up?
Absolutely. They tried to punch it into my head, and they did a great job. My parents, my mom, I just lost her, God rest her soul, and my dad, he was a good man. We had our ups and downs as a family, but they did everything humanly possible to try and make sure that I did not go in that direction. And I don't know what ended up causing it, whatever the factors were. I still ended up doing it, and it took over, a big part of my life in a lot of different areas.
Yes, but they're telling you this in your early years made you pull out of it. I know so many people that their parents did drugs themselves. And the kids did, and they just died. I mean, nobody was there to tell them this is a wrong thing you're doing. You had the foundation. Your parents gave you the good foundation that drugs were bad. Therefore, you could pull out. And that's why you're alive today. Believe it or not, is because of what your parents taught you when you were young. So you should be an advocate for parents educating their children about drugs. I do. That's my platform. Teach your children what happens. Go show them. If you need be, take them to a shooting gallery. They're all over the place. Show them what a human being looks like laying on the floor. Like they know where they are. They're shitting and peeing in their pants. They don't eat. They're sick. They got AIDS. They got every shit and disease. And they want another fix. Their life is the fix. They'll do anything, you know that, for a fix.
That's the whole day revolves around that fix.
They'll kill you for a fix.
So hang on. I want to go back.
Absolutely.
So first of all, I want you to say hello to B. Claudia. She's in Germany. So say hi to B. She just bought the book. It's coming to Germany.
By the way, folks, it's a fast read. I don't like slow readers where they make you wait 2 years before they get a point. It's a fast read. And from what I read so far, I will finish the book the next available.
So say hi to B
minutes.
real quick, Michael. Say hi to B. Just say hi, B.
How are you?
There you go.
How you doing?
So now in the book, the character's name is Patrick, but then you're Patrick, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so he's Patrick in the book, you guys. The book,
Born in Jackson Heights, not Huntington.
yes, I don't know if that's in the book or not.
Jackson Heights was an Irish English neighborhood when I was a kid.
Yes.
You're Irish, right?
Irish, English, Italian, and Portuguese.
Okay, so you're a good mix of.
Wow, you've got everything.
Well, those are good blood. Good blood. It's got good blood in them.
I think that you should contact schools to be a speaker with the book. I have friends who do that, who have written different kinds of books, and then the schools pay a lot of money to have you go in and speak, and all the kids always buy a copy of the book at the same time. And that way you could talk about the book and not glamorize the book, but talk about what a bad decision you made in trying to and how it's not glamorous and that people should stay out of that life.
There are people that are doing this now as we speak. There are a lot of ex-druggies, women that, girls that have gone to prostitution. I mean, they started off to get money for drugs, just banging, cute guys in the car, maybe 6, 7 young guys in the car. And then as it progressed, they were banging beg people, filthy, dirty old men. They didn't give a shit who it was. They would ball anybody, give them head. They were giving head to filthy, dirty men just for the buck. And they became lower than prostitutes. They became strung out junkie broads who couldn't even walk because they were so screwed up. And then, of course, they turned it around. And they look back and they think, oh, my God, how on earth did I ever do that? Well, drugs will make you do everything destructive. Drugs, like Coke is wonderful. You do a couple of lines of Coke and the world is pretty. And you're going to be Superman. And tomorrow you're going to be the president. And everything is coming your way. No matter what you talk about, it's all bullshit. And then when you come down, tell them about when you come down.
That's totally right.
No, tell them what it's like when you come down from Coke.
Or heroin.
The come down is the worst part. I mean, the harder the drug you do, cocaine, heroin and stuff, the high might be great, but the come down is so bad and so not worth it. It totally negates any of the good that you thought you may have done the night before.
Absolutely.
We had a
and with
friend.
heroin, you get physically addicted, so it will punish you. Once you're physically hooked, it becomes a punishing existence to try and live and stay up with that habit. It becomes living misery.
When I was about 21 years old, we had a friend called Little Johnny. Little Johnny did LSD, and he got on a window ledge and jumped because he thought he could fly.
Terrible.
Okay. At 19 years old, he died. I never forget that. That's what happens when you do stuff like that. It's so pointless.
So I have a question about that then. Okay, so you have this story. Are you the only one of the people from your crew who made it out okay? Did anybody else make it out? Or you still keep in touch with any of them? Or you cut ties with everyone to go clean? Or how has it affected you in your life?
Me? Well, if you read the book, you'll basically see what happened to me. But out of most of the major people in the story, they either died or went to prison and came home. I have a couple of people from the book are doing like 3 or 4 life sentences apiece because they got caught for a bunch of murders, robberies, and all that stuff. A few of the people went to jail and ended up coming home, and most of the other people died between the end of the story and now. 3 people have died from the book since the book has been out from drug overdoses.
That's terrible.
My daughter's mother being one of them.
That's
Michael, talk about how many people do accidental overdoses that you know.
That's usually the way it happens. And most people don't usually go to spike themselves out. But the thing is, when you're dealing with drugs, especially like heroin or something like that, you don't know what the potency is from bag to bag, how it's been cut. So you're literally getting anything on any time you open one of those bags. It's like a surprise. You don't know exactly what you're getting. You're putting your trust in the hands of some low-life drug dealer.
You shoot up or you take pills to get really high. Now you're really, really high and you're saying, you know what, I'm too high. I'm going to do a couple of downs so I knock off the high. And that's when you're in trouble because you don't know the balance of the drugs. Years ago, what did we do? A Quaalude? I mean, give me a break. What the fuck was a Quaalude? Quaalude was so stupid. Wasn't it a Quaalude? I mean, you took
it's the worst drug in the world. There's no business being used like that.
But they outlawed it. But people that took Quaaludes just got silly.
So wait,
those pills. I have another relative who she was a big junkie, and she was dealing out of Santa Monica, and the cops caught her. There was a SWAT team all over the neighborhood because she was a big, big, big dealer, and they said to her either go clean or go to jail. And she went clean, and she built a business of helping other drug addicts, which today is very big in Santa Monica. And she helps drug addicts clean up. And I was in the office one day talking with her, and a guy came in and he's cursing her out. And here she is, very ladylike and feminine. And she turned around and cursed him out back, bigger than him, better than him, because she was a dopey. She knows how. And she said, "Don't mess with me, mother. I did this and I did that. And I used to shoot this. And the guy just stood there. He said, "You did?" She said, "Yeah. And now look at me. I'm healthy and clean." So
hang on.
Wait a minute. I'm going to conclude. I'm going to give it to you. Your book, bad guy that you squealed, good guy that you wrote the book, because you're going to help a lot of people.
Thank you, Ron. I appreciate that.
So a lot of
That's the truth.
The people in the chat room, they want to know if you're married. The women think you're cute. So let's go with that. Are you married? And if not, then you're single.
I am not married right now. I am single. And I guess available, I guess is what you would say.
So you guys, you can follow him on Twitter. He's at Michael Dineen 58. It's MichaelDineen 58. And you can follow him on Twitter. So you made millions of dollars. Did you save any of it, or you blew it all?
You can't ask that question.
You can't ask that question.
That's a stupid question to ask.
No. Well, did you drive like nice cars and shit at the time that all this was going down?
We all had nice everything. Me, I tried to stay a little more low key to try and give an image, not to flaunt and taunt in front of the police, which was a waste of time anyway, because they knew exactly what I was doing.
That's hilarious.
Like I said, the guy that was throwing hundreds in the slot machine, they were there. When you have a big name, I don't know about you guys, but when you're mafiosos, they know the family, they know everybody. They photograph who goes in and out of your house, who's in your car. They want to know everybody you know so they can get something on you. It's a hell of a way to live, knowing that your privacy, you don't have privacy. And you know what? They could wire your house and you have nothing to say about it. Okay?
Absolutely. They'll go to any length to try and catch you or get information on you or get any way that they could get ahead of you to try and take you down.
They're photographing you, if the window is open and you're bawling somebody, they got pictures of you bawling somebody. It's really pathetic how sad it is to get involved in the drug world, because it's just, oh God, it's hell. It's an awful place to be.
Okay, so let's go back. So the name of the book, everybody, is Suburban Gangster. So I know you want to turn it into a TV series or a movie. Is there a sequel or an expanded version, or is there? It's relatively. You told a big story and not a lot of pages.
He's got the idea. Writers come in and then they create it from henceforth. He doesn't have to write every week.
No, I'm not saying that. In the book, is there going to be a sequel?
A sequel to the book?
About possibly doing a revised edition because I realized I was a first-time writer. I'd never written before. I realized I had left a lot of stuff out. Like I really should have elaborated on what the families went through with the people close in these stories and shown how it affected them because it devastated the families with the people involved. I mean, to a length to where people's families were just being destroyed over somebody's drug habit or because Johnny got arrested and was sent to prison for the rest of his life or whatever it may be. It was really tragic because they were like the people that suffered almost the most out of this whole thing.
Michael, we're in show business. I make movies, all right? I'm in movies. If I tell you how many times an actor has snorted before they go before the camera, you would be shocked to know that in my industry, the drugs are rampant. Hollywood, forget about it. You go to a party, the coke is in a freaking sugar bowl. I mean, that's how much. No, really. I mean, you go. I went to a party in Malibu, and there was a beautiful little crystal bowl on the coffee table with coke in it. Of course, I swear to you, I'm not lying about it. I don't do drugs. I would never get involved in that world. I'm too vain. Hollywood. I mean, I could just tell you. I can't say too much. I'll get in trouble. Just a little while ago, we were around somebody that was high on coke, and Jimmy didn't know it. I did.
What do you mean I didn't know it?
You still don't know it. No. And after we're off the air, I'll tell you who was loaded on coke, and you're going to say no, and I'm going to say yeah.
Everybody's loaded everywhere we go.
No, but it's terrible. I mean, it still exists. All right,
Absolutely.
these people are party cokers, but we're talking about the real hard knockoff druggies. You know, the guys that really do the big shit. They're the people they don't last long.
So you guys, let's follow Michael Dineen on Twitter. He's at Michael Dineen 58. Again, it's MichaelDineen 58. The name of the book is Suburban Gangsters. You can get it Amazon, all your digital platforms. I would imagine digital and physical platforms, bookstores and stuff. But Amazon's probably the easiest to do it. And it'd be great if you guys would leave a 5-star review, how much you enjoyed it. And
I would recommend that if you have a teenager you suspect is doing drugs, you let them read this book. I don't know how it ends, by the way. I've only gotten to the middle. But if it ends with excuse my throat.
He already told you how it ends.
Yeah, but I didn't read it. I have to have my own interpretation. If it ends with it's a no, bad, it's worth for your kids to read. Let them see the glory of, wow, we're going to go and, do a deal. And I'm going to meet this guy on the corner in the dark in the alley. I'm going to give him $100. It's going to give me a little bag of snow. And yeah, it's not that way.
Absolutely not.
Right, Michael?
It's so foolish. And looking back, I realized how incredibly stupid we all were. I just can't tell young people enough how dumb it is to even think about taking a chance at throwing your life away on something so foolish.
I love
it. The best thing you said, you redeemed yourself.
He redeemed it all the way through.
Thank you. That's what I was hoping to do.
You did. You redeemed yourself for being a stupid drug addict. Now you're an intelligent man and you know the difference. And if you had a son and you saw your son was going in that direction, what would you do?
I wouldn't beat his brains in. No. I would never do that. But I would do everything in my power, everything humanly possible to show him as much love and compassion and understanding as he would need for me to help him get through something like that. You can't browbeat somebody who's in that position. That doesn't work. I mean, you want to think it will work. It sounds great, but those people need love that are in the grips of that type of thing. And it's the only way. I came out of it because my mother loved me as much as she did.
That's right. She gave you the foundation.
That's beautiful, too. All right, everybody. So this is Michael Dineen again. Get his book, Suburban Gangsters. A lot of fun to read and a lot of good information. And everybody look forward to be on the silver screen sometime in the next year or two.
Michael, thank you for being open and honest and telling us the things that you did. You were a great guest. We'd have you back again when we need to, when the book needs to be refreshed. Keep up the good work and spread the word. Drugs, justice for stupid people.
Drugs kill. Jimmy and Ron, thank you so much. You guys are a terrific bunch of guys.
Our pleasure.
I had a great time here today, and I'd love to come back and see you again.
You sure
Alrighty,
will, Michael.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a great day, fellas.
You too. You too.
Take care.
Bye-bye. I don't know why.
Find what your kitchen needs this Memorial Day at Lowe's. Get our exclusive full-size Hisense French door refrigerator. It features extra room to store and organize food and comes in fingerprint-resistant stainless steel. Was $15.99. Get it now for only $13.99. That's a savings of $200. Shop in-store at Lowe's.com or on our app. Lowe's, home to holiday appliance values today and every day. Valid through 6/2 while supplies last. See associate at Lowe's.com for details. U.S. only.
My throat's going. I think it's from New York, from the humidity and the rain, and I think I'm getting something. Imagine. Anyway, he was a good guest, and he was honest enough to say he was a squealer. That's nothing that people don't want to say. You know, people. I know my friends. If any of my friends are listening, they're going to call me later and say, "That guy was a squealer. Why'd you have him on your show? A rotten squealer." Because he squealed and he's doing good. His squealing was to get his ass out of jail. Okay, but also now he's redeemed himself by writing this book, and he will help other people. So sometimes you got to deal with bad to get good.
So now, real quick, before we bring on our next guest, let me just say, everybody, you can listen. We appreciate everybody tuning in to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Radio Public, Stitcher, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. We're on a bunch of other ones, but that's probably the most. And those are the ones everybody likes.
We're on everything you could think of.
That's right. Everywhere you can possibly think.
You buy it, we're on it.
All right, so we're going to bring in our next guest.
Yes. She's so beautiful in person. Oh, my God. Is she a...
Hey!
I love her.
Hey! Hi, Ron. Hey,
hi,
Jimmy.
Hi, my new best friend.
How are you? How are you feeling?
I feel terrific. You know, for such a short time, I feel good. But you are so beautiful in person.
On screen.
No. On screen, screen you see 3-dimension in person.
Hello.
I mean, there's Ron. There's Ron. Ron.
Yeah, but I'm not as beautiful as my husband.
No, you are. You're more beautiful than him. Get out of here, Ron. We're gonna get to it. We have to know how you got her because she's a beauty.
Hang on, we got to introduce them.
And she's a sweetie pie.
All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, Hollywood's coolest and most gorgeous power couple, the amazing Devin DeVasquez and Ronn Moss. Hello and welcome to the show.
Oh, hello, and thank you for having us. Prince,
hello.
say hello to you guys.
Okay, so you guys look at this dog. This is the coolest dog ever. He's 3 pounds, right? 3 pounds?
2.5.
2.5 pounds. And when we were at Sue Wong's party, Ron was walking the dog, and it was so cute. And it has its own Facebook page that has more followers than I do. What's the
Instagram?
Instagram.
Mr. Prince.
Mr. Prince.
Mr. Prince, 1999.
And this is Astro Boy, our little 7-pound baby.
7
Look
pounds.
at him.
Hang on. So
he's a rescue, too. Mr.
Yeah, so's
Prince.
Astro. Hi, Astro. Say hi to Devin and Mr. Prince. Ron disappeared. I think he had trouble with the sound, maybe. Because I heard him doing a test.
He's such a perfectionist with his sound.
Of course he is. He's like in one of the greatest bands ever. Of course he's perfectionist. That just works. So you guys, while we don't have Ron, we have a chat room full.
But wait a minute. While we don't have Ron, we could talk about her.
No, wait. We have just to say hi. We have a chat room full of people. Say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hello, everybody. I wish I could see their comments.
Every once in a while, they'll throw them up on the...
Meanwhile, in person, she's the sweetest, the nicest, the most down-to-earth little girl. And I flipped over her, and I said, she's my new best friend.
Okay, Ron, can you hear us?
I think you're terrific.
No, he can't hear us.
Ron, how come?
I wonder why he can't hear us.
That's nonsense.
Because he's a stickler for his sound, and he was trying to get me to put your ears on for better sound, and look at him. You can't even hear him.
No, we can hear him, I think, but he can't hear us. So tell him to pull his headphones out. Pull your headphones
off.
Take your headphones off and just unplug it and just do it live without the headphones and see if you can hear us.
Just unplug and do it live.
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you, but we can't.
Hear you for some reason.
You can't hear us?
I don't know why.
But you just answered it. Of course you can hear us.
No, he can't hear us. No, he said he doesn't know why he can't hear us.
Take the damn headphones off, Ron.
Screen. Got the audio.
Unplug your headphones. She's writing it in the thing. In the meantime, oh shit! Hold on, I lost my headphones now.
Now Jimmy lost his sound. Birds of a feather flock together.
He goes overboard with the sound sometimes because he thinks it's going to be much better.
I wonder if he
can the naked sound of the.
I wonder if he can see the chat though. Hang on, let's see. Unplug
Can you text message him?
Unplug your headphones.
I can't because I'm on my phone here.
Unplug your headphones. There you go.
Did he get
Unplug your
that?
headphones. I don't know if he can see. He should be able to see that. I hope he can see it. Otherwise, he can come and sit next to you.
I will
unplug my headphones.
If you guys let me go to his office and come back, I can go and because he can't hear, I can do that. Or we can just forget about him and just talk about Mr. Prince.
And you and Mr. Prince. You and
Make
Mr.
fun
Prince.
of him.
We're crazy with these dogs, you and I. My Astro was so happy to see me after our week in New York. He hasn't stopped kissing me and hugging me and running all over.
Ron, can you hear us?
Headphones off, Ron.
Hold on.
Now you can hear us.
He's got real equipment. Oh, you can hear us.
See that?
I'm in there and I can hear you now.
Yay!
Okay. Well, I hope he didn't hear about the boyfriend you have, Devin. You know, I did this. We were sitting in Sue Wong's whatever room, and I called up Sean Kanan's wife, my sweetheart, Michelle. And I said to Michelle, there's a woman here at Sue Wong's who's been seeing your husband, and she's going to take him away from you. So Michelle said, oh, good.
So hold on, everybody.
And then I handed the phone to Devin. Michelle was hysterical.
So everybody, since we welcome Devin, now we want to welcome Ronn Moss. Ron, say hi to the chat room. We got a chat room full of people. There we go.
We are here.
There we go.
So how are you, old buddy? You're looking good.
I'm good. I'm really good. I'm feeling good.
I wonder if
why
Ron,
the beard and everything, Ron? Why didn't you tell him?
Okay, tell us.
He's playing Satan.
Go for it, Devin.
Tell him.
I'm preparing for a role in a Texas Western. We're going to film in Texas. So,
I know. It's with Antonio Sabato Jr.
It's called...
we know him.
Yeah, he's been on our show.
Trailblazers is the name of the movie. And we're set to film with a lot of friends with Antonio Sabato. And
he's a sweet guy. He's got a huge Batman collection.
He is infatuated with Bruce Wayne. Yes.
He's got a huge.
And Devin, you're in it too, right? Devin, you're on the credits, so Devin's in it too.
Good, so you're traveling together.
I'm making my acting debut again.
But not a debut, so it's a resurgence.
Ron,
resurgence.
Mm-hmm. Ron, when we were at Sue Wong's house, you told me an interesting story. I don't know that you want to repeat it on the air, but it was about Valentino.
Just meeting that gracious gentleman for the first time was amazing. He contacted me in my dressing room at CBS. We talked for many, many months, and then he invited me to Rome to come to his big old mansion in the old section of Rome. Believe it or not, there's an old section of Rome.
Rome is old.
Yeah. But when he rounded the corner and came to meet me in his dark suit, that's his color, this dark blue suit. I swear he went into slow motion. In my head, in my mind, I saw him coming down the hallway in slow motion. He just had an elegance about him, and he reeks of elegance, and everything's white glove service type of thing for him. And he's kind of English aristocratic, even though he's very Italian. But he's very gracious, very generous, and very creative man that taught me a lot about fashion. I wasn't a fashion buff. I always told people I don't give a rat's ass about fashion. But he really showed me why fashion is the way it is and gave me a new appreciation for it. So going to his 30-year retrospective and seeing 30 years of his work, of this creativity that he's done, it really opened my eyes. And I patterned my character of Ridge Forrester on Bold and Beautiful after a young Valentino, because he took me and showed me how to deal with the models, how he designs things, how he deals with fashion. So it was a big lesson, and I kind of use it on the show.
Okay, so hold on.
I wore his shoes for years.
Wait, my turn.
I loved his shoes. He had the best suede.
So first of all,
soft suede.
First of all, for anybody who just in case you don't know who these two fabulous people are,
that's not
Devin
possible.
DeVasquez, you guys, was the first spokesmodel winner on Star Search, which also got her the cover of Playboy. You were the first one, right, on Star Search?
Well, I won $100,000 as a spokesmodel in 1986. It was the third season for Star Search, and it was one of the biggest shows. I say it's the grandfather of all of these shows, like
today,
American Idol and Dancing with the Stars. Because you had all the categories from dancing to acting to modeling.
I
back
loved
then.
it.
And because I won the show, Playboy featured me in another pictorial and with my name on the cover. That was a big deal back then. I was the first Hispanic playmate to have a cover from winning that show. So that was a big honor.
November 1986, and then she's part of the cast of one of the greatest high school movies of the 80s ever. It's like one of my favorite movies, and everybody in it became a superstar, and that is... Oh God! Now
Can't Buy Me Love.
Can't Buy Me Love with Patrick Dempsey, the greatest movie ever. It's such a I can't.
I kissed him first.
It's such an amazing.
Before he was Dr. McDreamy, I kissed him.
And Ron, for anybody who doesn't know Ron, besides being Ridge Forrester on 3,971 episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful, which is like a lifetime.
How many?
According to IMDb, it says 3,971.
Now, double that.
Is it really?
More than double that.
Okay, so 7,800 episodes. Besides that, he's also in Player, you guys. Baby Come Back. You can't turn on any radio station ever and not hear the song. We listen to Yacht Rock, and it plays like every 3 hours, and I listen to Yacht Rock all day long, and so and the Love Channel on.
And there's no one who doesn't know who you are. I mean, seriously, we were at a party, my birthday party in New York, and my very oldest and dearest friend, she came up to me, she looked at me, she said, "You know him." I said, I know a lot of hymns. Who are you talking about? She said, him. I have been in love with him since I'm like a girl. She said, I can't believe it. You know,
like in her 70s.
You know him. And she kept doing the hymn. And I said, for Christ's sake, Teresa, who the fuck are you talking about? And she said, Moss, Ronn Moss. I said, yes, I know him. And he's a very nice guy. And he's got a gorgeous wife. She said, yeah, I know about her. But... But him, you know him. So when she comes out with her husband next year to visit us, I'm going to have to make her meet him. Now that's your new name, him.
Yeah.
So,
now who is Teresa?
You don't. Teresa Vecchio and John Vecchio grew up with me. We all got married together. We had our children together. We lived miles apart on Long Island. We grew up. I, of course, went on with Hollywood and Bologna, and I moved away, but we've maintained our friendship always.
50-something years.
In Italy, they would say Louis, means him. So Ron thought his name was Louis for.
So apparently in the United States, it's still him.
No, but she did. I swear to you. I thought she was great. She came up to me, but like mysterious and whispered, "You know him," like she was going to lose her breath and faint. And I said, "Him who? I know a lot of hims."
So hold on.
Well, you get that from a lot of women, Ron. Come on, cut the crap.
No comment. No comment.
He pushes against the whole sex symbol thing.
No, but Devin,
how do you to just embrace it?
Wait, hang on a second. Tristan Rogers, who's a good friend of ours, you know Tristan, of course, and his wife, who we love and adore, said that she would be in a club with Tristan, and women would get in between her and Tristan and push her out of the way and start to touch him and flirt with Tristan. Has that ever happened with you and Ron?
Actually, when we're in Europe, especially, or pretty much Australia, all over the world, there's lots of women that want photos. And I understand that. I'm usually the one taking the photos of the women with him. And a lot of people wonder, why aren't you jealous? Don't you get jealous of all these women that want photos with him? And I'm like, nah, because a lot of men want photos with me.
Well, especially if they come in with a Playboy magazine, open it up and ask you to sign it. But Teresa Rogers also said the same thing. She said, "Oh, Ron, please." She said, "It's boring." She said, "It's just boring."
I understand it because I've been in the business for so long, and it's not something to get jealous over. It's kind of a fondness, actually, because 3 generations of women, men and women, have watched him for over 25 years on television, and he's become part of their culture. I understand because I used to watch soaps, and now we produce
The Bay.
The Bay.
It's like, so I understand it. So it doesn't make me jealous.
Tristan won an Emmy for The Bay.
No, he didn't. Studio City.
Oh, Studio City. I'm sorry.
They've got a whole bunch of Emmys for The Bay. So how many Emmys has The Bay won?
How many?
We have 10 between the two of us. 5
Woo!
each.
Congratulations.
It's a great show.
So we've actually had Christian on our show, and everybody who's done guest appearances, from Dot Marie Jones to everybody. Like, we probably had like 30 people on our show from the Bay.
To your lover, Sean Kanan.
So congratulations to you guys. And now, so you produce it, but you're not actually, are you in any episodes, Devin? Or
I'm just not. A producer? No, I did a little cameo on the plane looking at Mr. Blackwell, giving him a little look, flirtatious look once, but I didn't want to act on the Bay. I didn't really want to do any acting unless it was a role that I could really sink my teeth into, and I have that coming up in Trailblazers, so I'm really excited about that.
Congratulations, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Well, Studio City is doing well also.
Yes, and we made a little cameo on that.
I know. I haven't seen it yet, but I will.
It's pretty funny. Ron is very different.
We have to watch it. Actually,
now, the question: how did you meet my love, who I love so much, Sue Wong? She's a broad, Everybody thinks she's a stuck-up girl, but she's not. She's just a broad and a nice person.
I actually interviewed her for my website, woman2woman.tv. I interviewed her because I admired her story.
Yep.
Her roots from China to becoming the success that she is. And I interviewed her, and then I met her. We met her together, Ron and I, at a art gallery in Beverly Hills, and she invited us to one of her parties, and we've been frequent guests ever since.
I know that.
I love her.
I know she's very fond of the both of you. She really speaks well of the both of you.
We love her too.
But when you first meet her, you figure, oh, this broad's got so much money. She's got so much clout. She knows so many people. She's so phony. She's so this. She's so pretentious. She's so braggart, and she ate rat when she was a kid. there's more to Sue Wong than that. There's a beautiful human being inside who only wants to be loved and to love back. And she really is good to her friends, the real friends, not the phonies that, gather around her. So Sue and I have become very close, and I'm so happy because
we met you guys through her.
She's also extremely creative.
Oh, she's the ultimate artist.
A true artist, a true creative spirit.
Ultimate artist.
She does everything for the sake of beauty and health and spirit and nurturing all of those things. So it's wonderful.
And like Ron, she'll never retire. She's always recreating herself.
Me too. I'm 81 years old and I'm still going full steam. And I'm here only 8 weeks out of triple heart surgery. So I'm.
How are you doing with that? How are you feeling?
I feel wonderful. I feel terrific. My doctors are amazed that by the 6th week I was running around and going to New York, and I heal quickly. I have barely a scar. And I feel good. I had no choice. I had to have it. It was either that or die in a couple of months of a massive heart attack. So, of course, I went through the surgery. It's a painful surgery. It's a dreadful surgery. The first 3 weeks or 4 weeks, you're out of it. All you do is sleep. It's a terrible time. But now I feel like a 20-year-old.
Great.
So hang on, I want to go back to you guys. We have to brag a little bit.
But wait a minute, I want to say something else before you brag.
Okay, well,
we're coming to your party. You didn't even know that.
But that's not supposed to be a public.
Are you?
Oh, I'm not supposed to make that public. Guess what? There's no such thing as a party. We're not going anywhere.
But yes, we'll see you at that non-existent party.
We'll see you. We'll see you both.
And actually,
soon.
I have an invite for you guys too, because a friend of ours is doing a movie and. They have a movie premiere and they said, "Oh my God, you have Ron and Devin on, and we would love to put Ron in one of our upcoming movies. We invite him to our premiere of the one that they have out now." And I said I would ask. So in an email, I'll send you some information, and you guys can see if you'd like.
If it's a movie, he can change his look for again.
Absolutely, I know. Ron is dying to be in one of the movies that I do.
No, this is
no. Ron can't wait to be in one of my movies. They pay $200 a day. And Ron can't wait.
It's different.
I'm making a joke, you moron. I'm going to punch you right through a wall. See those glasses? I'm going to punch him right in his glasses.
So you guys listen.
All the wine I can drink.
Yeah, so all the wine.
No, seriously.
Oh, which I forgot too. One thing I need to make sure we bring in.
But wait, my movies are class movies, like Killer Clown and Clown something else, and then Clown's sister and Clown's mother-in-law and Clown's ass. I mean, every friggin' film I'm in got a clown. Ron, you would love it. $200 a day. Could you imagine? You get 3 days work. You can take your wife out to dinner.
Hey, you guys,
sounds wonderful.
If you guys want to actually get a chance to meet Ron and Devin, they're doing a fan room live on Saturday, June 5th, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You go to fanroomlive.com. It's a virtual meet and greet. You'll get to talk to them one-on-one. You'll get to take snapshots of the screen. It'll be a lot of fun. Again, it's June 5th, which we'll mention this again but at the end of the show, but it's June 5th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's fanroomlive.com to get tickets. You see how much fun we're having? You'll get to have that kind of fun, too.
Because you could be the interviewer. You can talk to them and ask them questions. Of course, keep the questions polite. There are certain questions you will not get answers to. I want to get back to the
hang on.
I want to talk to the beautiful one.
No, wait a second. So you guys
They're both beautiful,
you can
but
go
the girl
to DevinDeVasquez.com. It's DeVasquez.com and RonnMoss.com. But Ron is 2 N's, so RonnMoss.com for more information. And then they have their own site that's them together that has things that they endorse. I didn't write that one down. It's like DevonRon.com or something.
Devron.
Devron.com. And
like Chevron.
Yes. Oh, there you go. And one of the very cool things that they've done, you guys,
Chevron.
And you guys can get all kinds of merch on the website, but they wrote a book. And it's written by the two of them, and it's a humorous look at relationships. And this is the greatest title ever. It's My Husband's a Dog, My Wife's a Bitch. And it's by Ronn Moss and Devin DeVasquez. Tell us a little bit about it, because I thought that was genius, and you guys have such a following. Like, how cool to have a relationship book.
Well, first of all, we should get back. I mean, I know how they met because I already did that at Sue's house. But tell our audience how you guys met.
Well, the short version is I got my SAG card saying hi to him in the movie he met his now ex-wife on. So it's a soap opera. And we were reintroduced 18 years later by Lorenzo Lamas and another Playmate friend of mine, Barbara Moore. They were together at the time, and they reintroduced us because Lorenzo was on The Bold and the Beautiful, and we've been together ever since. So it's been 17 years now we've been together.
I love it.
And Lorenzo Lamas' mom is my buddy, Arlene Dahl, who's a good friend of mine. And his dad was, of course, Fernando Lamas, who has passed on. But his mother is just an incredibly beautiful woman, milk white skin and orangey red hair and green eyes. For those of you, look her up, Arlene Dahl. Just the most. Did you ever see Arlene's mom? What she looks like?
I haven't seen her in the last few years. No.
You know what? She's about 100 and she's gorgeous. I mean, we should have called her when we were in New York. But anyway,
it's so funny. We just watched the movie Grease recently. Ron and I were laughing because Lorenzo was just a baby.
Yeah, a baby.
Throughout the whole movie,
a baby.
He didn't even have a line.
Yeah. No, I say this to all our gay friends because all our gay friends want to know, is he gay or do you think he's possibly gay, very gay friendly? And I say, listen, whenever I'm in Larry's company, he puts his arm around me. There's pictures of him kissing me on the cheek, hugging me. We like each other. Gay actors don't do that. They hide. This man is so heterosexual, it's pathetic. I mean, if you saw the women he's got, I mean, every broad looks like a plastic Barbie doll with these huge boobs and platinum blonde hair. In fact, I wanted to fix my daughter Leslie up with Larry, and I said that to Arlene, and Arlene said, "Oh, you don't want to do that to your daughter." You wouldn't wish it on your daughter. She said, "No, my son marries all these strange women." But anyway, he's a sweet guy and a great guy, and he did a good thing introducing you to. See, we like to name drop.
He was the best man in the West.
Yeah, we like to name drop on our show. Well, no, everybody that tunes in, they want to know about everybody that we know in Hollywood.
So I want to go back to the book. How did the book come around, and who decided on the title?
I came up with the title, and that's kind of what one of the things that spurred on the book being written. Devin's idea is that men can and should be trained like dogs.
Boo, 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 boo.
So based on that concept, I came up with that title. It just hit me in the dog theme. My husband's a dog. My wife's a bitch.
Good for you.
And if people get upset about it, I go, it's a dog theme.
So the bitch is the dog, the female dog.
So he brings me a cappuccino every morning. He brings me breakfast in bed every morning. He's been doing this for 17 years now.
Who, the dog or your husband?
My husband.
The dog in the other room, not the one on our lap.
Yeah.
So
according to my wife,
I came up with a clever concept of, I'm going to write my point of view about relationships and he can write his point of view. And it's just a humorous look at relationships, kind of like Men Are From Mars, Women Are
right.
From Venus.
But Devin, how do you relate to raising a man like a dog? I mean, how do you work that? What is it? You want to give us a biscuit?
Okay,
Ron, let me answer.
You know that.
Devin,
you know that.
I gotta let you. You gotta let me get in here.
Okay.
Devin thinks that she trained me to bring her a cappuccino. This is her concept, and I let her believe that.
See that?
Instead of that, you just love her and you want to do it.
There's a joke that says, if you, what do men and linoleum have in common?
They like to get laid.
If you lay them right the first time, you can walk right over them.
That's really nice, Devin. I'm taking back my introduction.
No, it's a joke.
I don't like you anymore.
I think that was hilarious. That was fabulous.
They get walked on.
I love the fact that you guys
Well, wait a minute. Devin, you said you're Hispanic. What kind of Hispanic are you?
My father was from Spain, from Madrid, but I never knew my father. He died before I was born.
Oh.
And my mother was from Louisiana. I'm from Louisiana.
Okay, so you're
so
if
I'm
your
French,
father-
Canadian, Irish, American Indian, and Spanish.
Okay, if your father were alive, you would think differently. Absolutely, because a Spaniard, a man from Spain with the old values is the same as a man from Italy with the old values.
Yeah.
And you would be thinking differently. A man, Ron is your tower of power. Ron is your protector. Ron is your sensibility. Ron keeps you in control. Ron watches over you. Ron supports you. I mean, financially in every way. Without Ron, you'd just be another blonde. How do you like that? Running around laying linoleum for a living.
No, you know what? I love and appreciate my husband, and I tell him that every day. I really would not have wanted to go through what we've been through with this whole COVID thing and lockdowns without him. And my heart goes out to those who've been alone through this whole situation. He is definitely my protector and my rock, and I love him dearly.
And you know that when we were at Sue's house, the first 10 or 20 minutes, I said to myself, he really loves her. Look at how he's looking at her. You were speaking to me, and his eyes started to get watery and glassy and glowing, and he got this shit ass grin on his face. And I said, this man really loves this lady.
So
he's married me 3 times now.
Yeah, that's fabulous.
17
Well,
years.
That's beautiful.
Nobody said he was stupid.
What part?
No, stop it, Ron.
What part of Louisiana are you from? They want actually our engineer is in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge, Rebel.
You know, we go from here to Louisiana to Florida to God knows where, and then back to you.
So going back to you guys, so they were on an episode of Celebrity Wife Swap, which I've never actually seen that. What actually happens when you swap wives on Celebrity Wife Swap?
That doesn't sound nice.
Well,
there was a guy on another daytime show called General Hospital, and his wife, and they try to keep it. They try to keep it on the up and up as much as they can, meaning they don't want each couple to know what the other couple's doing.
Okay.
We kept wanting to know, to contact our spouse and all, and they wouldn't allow that to happen because they want to create a certain dynamic. It's a reality show.
Right. It's a reality show.
So
what
what happened?
Not really
it's not reality.
Right. We know it's not reality. Yes.
So she got the 5-year-old boy, her husband, and their 5-year-old boy, and the 5-year-old boy fell in love with Devin. So they had a wonderful little family thing going. So I could tell that they decided me and his wife were going to be the antithesis of that. We're not going to be the happy couple.
So you guys didn't get along.
Well, we got along great, but they did not want to show that part. So they made it seem like I was always irritated at everything she did. And she and I actually got along great. We had some great conversations, and we'd start a conversation. The producer would go a couple minutes in. Okay, that's great, guys. So can we get a little more pushback on this? And
I think that stinks because your audiences now are going to think you don't get along. I think that's wrong.
And they also going to think
that's what they do. 70%.
Screw them. You're not going to give up your reputation to make their show good.
So did it air? Did your episode
It's all in the
air?
editing, you guys.
It's aired several times, actually. They've rerun it many times.
In the chat room, they're saying they love that show.
Well, I'm going to have to say to you, folks, in person, off camera, without anybody looking, these two guys get along great. They were wonderful.
Well, they weren't getting along with each other anyway. They were getting
but at Sue's house, she was talking about
different wives. Celebrity Wife Swap. He doesn't watch any reality shows.
I hate those stupid things. I mean, I don't even know why they make.
She went with the other guy's husband.
Junk.
He went with the other guy's wife.
Yeah, so he was mean to the other guy's wife.
Yeah, well, he wasn't really, but
no. What they do?
I think the whole premise is stupid.
They make it seem like you're in each other's houses, but
Oh,
you're
forget
not. You're
forget
in a
about it.
hotel
Forget
and-
about it. Forget about it. Come into my movies, 200 each a day. You make some money. I mean,
So then another thing they got you guys, because they've really like branded themselves. So now they have Devin's Kick-Ass Cajun Seasoning that you can get on devron.com. I had to think about it. devron.com. And not only does Ron with Player...
She brought something to Sue's, if I remember. Am I losing my memory? Did you make something and bring it to Sue's that we ate?
Cajun-y?
No, not at that party. No, but I'm Cajun food is my specialty, and I created the spice we give part of the proceeds back to victims of natural disasters, and it was inspired by Hurricane Katrina when it hit New Orleans. I wanted to do something authentic to give back to my home state. So it's my recipe created down in Louisiana, packaged in Louisiana, and I'm a Louisianan. So it's a great spice, lower in sodium, and it's a spice that gives back.
I love it.
Good. Now, can I ask you a question for my own self, a personal question? Jimmy and I have decided Palm Springs is just too hot. I'm making a lot of films, big films, 200 a day, remember now. So I'm in about 6 or 7 these Academy Award-winning films that I'll get an award for sure. And we have to go to L.A. We drive in 2 hours a day. Mostly we shoot up in Santa Clarita, up at the ranches, the farm. You guys, I'm not going to say where you live, but I know where you live. Do you think Jimmy and I should look there? Because I love it there. It's beautiful.
Yes.
What's it
We're
like?
actually selling our house. You can buy our house and move right in.
Yeah, but I'm looking.
Where are you going?
Wait, I'm looking for a house for about $29,990.
We're in Europe half the time as it is, and we have been. And it's just easier on the body to just be half the time in one place and half the time in another. And so our kids are grown up, and we don't need such a big house. And we're thinking of downsizing and having a much simpler life.
That's nice.
Because it's just Ron and I and Prince.
But would you stay in the neighborhood you're in, the area?
Yes, we love our neighborhood. We're just outside of Thousand Oaks.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Well, I didn't want to say that. We're looking in Santa Clarita. Santa Clarita. We're 55 and over because I'm 81.
So are we.
You're 55 and over? You're not 55. Devin, you're 55?
I'm going to be 58.
God,
in a couple weeks.
I'll be 57.
You look good. You look good for 58. Here I'm thinking you're like.
I'm not going to say how old Ron is because he's.
No, I know. I know how old he is. We discussed.
I think age is just a number. I
agree.
Well, look at me, 81. Do I look 81? No way.
No, you do not.
I know people that are younger that act older or seem older. Yes. It doesn't matter. It's how you think and how you feel.
Devin, if you knew our schedule for the next 4 months, you'd say that Ron Russell will be dead soon. Because we have, because of Soho Johnny and Sue Wong and a bunch of other friends of ours, we have rock concerts coming up in August in New York and LA. We have, I'm a judge at a dance contest for a disco party that's going to be in LA. We have New York. We have a schedule that young people can't do. My mind does not see age. I am as young as I was when I was young. I refuse to age in any way, physically or mentally.
60 is the new 40 now,
yes,
right?
I agree.
Well, 80 is the new 40 for me.
So wait,
can you guys see this?
Yes.
Yeah, that's you playing a guitar.
Who am I playing
The bear.
A bear. I saw that on your Instagram.
What's the bear doing there?
Which actually we should tell everybody. So you guys can follow Ron on Instagram. He's Ron Moss, RONN.
Is it over? Is it over?
And at Twitter,
it's the bear. He and his he just lost his brother. This bear. He's 19 years old, and they were on commercials and TV shows. The sweetest bears. They're like so well kept and well fed and loved, but this bear Cody, he lost his brother a month ago. So.
But the other day we were out there with him, and it's a ranch with a lot of different animals. And we put a bunch of raccoons all over us, little baby raccoons, while we were playing music. So I had 3 raccoons sitting on me, all over me while we were playing music. It's very cute. So anyway, the bear,
I love that stuff.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And the bear just went around getting treats from everybody. And there's a big respect. You can't just go up and jump on him and all that.
Right.
No. But there's a big respect. But the bear is just very chill. He has got a big pool, a big, wonderful little pool that the girls all got in the pool, and the bear jumped in with them, and they were just it's very cool.
That's very cool.
Ron, again, because I'm old and I lose my memory, name me your movie you're shooting, and when will it be out?
Trailblazers, we're hoping to start shooting in a couple of months if we get all the financing together, all our ducks in order, and
right.
It'll be out sometime next year, obviously.
And what's your cast? Who's in your cast?
Great cast.
It's a very eclectic cast of
almost everybody in the cast has been on our show, just about.
Who?
Really?
Name it. Let's hear. Name them.
Christy Swanson,
Kaya Jones,
who I just did a bunch of press for.
Scott Baio.
Scott Baio. We know. I know. I interviewed Scott.
We have
Dean Cain.
Robert Davi. I think.
Interviewed Dean Cain.
Robert Davi. I
interviewed Robert Davi.
Yeah, we have them all.
Yeah, I interviewed all these guys. They're great guys. I love Sean Cain. He's not Sean. Dean Cain. Gene Cain. He's a really nice guy. Superman.
Yeah.
I think it's fabulous. So hold on, I want to go back though because we have like 10 minutes left before they're going to kick us off the air, and I want to promote some of Ron's stuff because I didn't know you did all these solo albums before we met you. I was so excited when I met you to meet your wife actually.
Your wife. I
Can't Buy Me Love because like it's such a great movie. That I heard somebody talking to you at Sue Wong's about like different solo music, and now according to your website, you have two solo albums. Is there more than that? Because on Spotify, it seems like there's more than that.
It's 3.
Okay. 3 albums. One of them, hang on, doggy. One of them is, hold on. I got it written down here someplace. I wrote it down. I'm Your Man and Uncovered. And
right.
What's the other ones?
Dreaming, not Dreaming.
Lockdown Lover.
Lockdown Lover is what I did last year while we were all locked down. I recorded everything mostly myself in Belgium and Italy. Because I did a couple of songs with some friends remotely, and I put it all together, assembled it, and I even made little videos to go along, so they're all music videos. But that was a kind of confined creative endeavor of mine. So Lockdown Lover, and we had a two number ones in Belgium. Song I wrote.
Congratulations.
Called what's it called?
Dreaming in Color.
Thank you. Dreaming in Color.
What's your favorite?
Dreaming in Color.
What's your favorite?
Dreaming in Color.
What's your favorite country in Europe?
I would say we've spent the most time in Italy.
Me too.
It's just
I would say that too. Meanwhile,
it's an amazing place to be.
If I were casting a movie, I would use you, Ron, and you have a brother who looks like you, who's not, of course, not your brother. Julia Roberts, the movie you love. What's his name?
Pretty Woman?
Pretty Woman. What's his name?
Richard
Gere. Richard, you look like Richard Gere. You could be brothers. There's a great resemblance, or that you both look like.
I've gotten Richard Gere in my life when I was younger. I've gotten Warren Beatty when my hair was longer.
So in Italy, too,
I get Tony Curtis all the time.
He was on Dancing with the Stars and came in second place in the Italian Dancing with the Stars.
You're kidding.
I read it on his website.
Who, Ron did?
Yeah.
Yep.
You got to be. They have Dancing with the Stars in Italy?
In every country.
They do. They had it actually.
John was on it too.
Did you do the Tarantella?
I did all the popular dances. All of them. We had to go through. We had to do 14 dances.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's much harder, that show in Italy, than the one here. Because it was like 2-hour show.
The deal was it's a 4-hour show there. A 4-hour live show.
Oh, yeah.
And Italians are very good dancers. I'm Italian 100%.
They're very good dancers.
We're
My
good
teacher was
dancers.
excellent.
I'm a good dancer.
Love it.
It's in our blood.
So another thing. So Devin,
Astro, say hi to Prince.
When you met him, did you like? Were you like in awe of the fact that he was like a rock star?
No.
Did you like?
I mean,
she saw how cute he was. She didn't care what he was.
No, he was not in the best place at the time when I met him, and he had 2 little girls, 5 and 10.
Oh, there he is.
And he had
Fabulous.
been divorced for a couple of years, and he was sort of, just not really looking for a relationship. I was 41, he was 52 at the time.
When you met?
Yeah, when we were reintroduced. We met.
When Larry introduced you.
Back when I first won Star Search, and he was first on The Bold and the Beautiful. Our exes actually did a movie together, and we met at a rap party that our exes were in. And I remembered meeting him. So when Lorenzo was telling me, I'm going to introduce you to this guy on my show, he never mentioned Ron. He was talking about this other guy, Windsor Harmon, who played his brother. And I was thinking in my head, gee, I wish it was that Ron guy, but I thought he was married.
But he wasn't. He wasn't married.
And it turned out to be him instead of Windsor.
Yeah, but Ron,
then you were happy.
But wait, Ron wasn't married. He was single.
No, that's
she didn't know
he
that.
didn't know that. He was telling Windsor about me, and Windsor said, "Dude, I'm married. You should introduce her to Ron."
How did you get? What technique did you use to get him?
Me?
You, of course, the little devil.
No
she
way.
said,
It was the other way around.
She's so innocent. Did you hear that one?
No, it was the other way around. She just walked in, and he was like,
"Come on, Astro, you're on my wire."
I don't know. I think I was just a very strong, independent woman, and he was attracted to that.
Who asked who on the first date?
It took about.
Even ask me on a date.
Devin still laments about me not even calling her for a week. She We had one date at that Mastro's in Beverly Hills, and I didn't call her for over a week. What she fails to say was I was working 17, 18-hour days on a show that was unrelenting, and it's hard to do anything. Yeah, exactly.
You gotta love
my
it,
future understanding wife. But she came to realize what kind of work it was.
Because most of our dates were at Windsor's house for the first month. He didn't really ask me out we hung out.
Okay. Let me rephrase that. When did you get your first kiss?
Well, I had to reteach him how to kiss. Seriously.
Ronn Moss, the soap opera Romeo? You had to teach him how to kiss?
These fake kisses because his ex-wife was jealous of him kissing on the show. I'm like, dude, you don't know how to kiss. I have to.
Everybody thinks you're so adorable. That's hilarious.
So wait a minute. So
there's a difference between a TV kiss and a real kiss. Is what
I don't
saying.
think he kissed a TV kiss.
No, we did. We'd had a technique that was just very copacetic and all. And I got so used to that, doing it for so many years, that I lost my ability to really kiss.
To kiss real.
Devin literally went, "That's not a kiss.
That is hilarious.
This is a kiss." And she said, "Wow."
Woo! That's what
I have
fell
forgotten.
in love with Ron. I taught him how to frickin' kiss.
I think it just blew his whole image. I mean, every woman that's madly in love with him is going to say, "You know what? I could have taught him to kiss." Now they're all going to fantasize that they should have had Ron to teach him to kiss. Women like to be in.
So let me give you the quick story.
Sure.
So on the show, I'm doing the fake kisses. Me and Catherine, who was been playing opposite me for more years than I've been married, right? And I come home, I get this big lesson from Devin.
2 minutes.
And I literally have to go back to Catherine. And I said, "Catherine, I'm going to tell you a funny story." I told her the whole thing. She laughed. I said, "Would it be okay if on the show, since we've been married 7 times, can we just kiss for real instead of doing the fake kiss anymore. And I expected her to go, I don't know. She went, yeah, sure, that's okay.
She's probably been waiting for years to do that with you.
She had no problem. She had no problem.
Of course she had no problem. It was one of her masturbation fantasies.
Go, Devin. Go, Devin.
Ron, I did movies. So in the movies, I actually really kissed Billy Warlock when I did Society, and Patrick Dempsey when I did Can't Buy Me Love. Ron, on these soaps, because they were married and they had to do all the fake kissing because they're doing, working together all the time. He got used to doing that. He forgot how to actually kiss.
I
said, will you just go kiss her for real and tell her?
So hang on, you guys, because we only got like 30 seconds left. I want to do my Fan Room Live. Everybody get tickets June 5th, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Fan Room Live with Devin DeVasquez and Ronn Moss. Go to fanroomlive.com to get your tickets. Check out DevinDeVasquez.com and RonnMoss.com. Follow him. Devin DeVasquez is just Devin DeVasquez on the social medias, Instagram and Twitter. But Ron on Instagram is Ronn Moss, but on Twitter he's Ron_Moss. On Twitter. So you guys got to get that right. We want to thank you guys so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
No, you're both.
And you guys hang on one second because our engineer wants to ask you a question.
You're really delightful people. I knew that when we met you at Sue's. I even said to Jimmy, they're going to be good interviews. I knew it because that little demonette down there.
Oh, and Mr.
Linoleum.
Prince. Hi, Mr. Prince.
If we do this again, I'll play a little song for you.
There we go. Definitely.
We are going to do it again because I'm sure there's millions of women out there saying,
everybody in the chat room
bring him on again.
Actually, everybody on the chat room thinks he's very cute and everything, but they're all saying that Devin is totally adorable.
She is adorable. No, you know what? They're a wonderful team because he plays off of her. And she knows when to come in and be sweet and cute. You both work it well. I love your personality.
All right, everybody. So we're going to go.
And I'm happy that we know each other. I'm really happy. Now, welcome to our soap opera family. We know everybody from Judith Chapman down to who? Everybody.
It doesn't matter. We got to go. So we got to go.
Oh, I don't want to go.
Hey, everybody. Thanks so much. Tune in next week.
To him. We'll see you at the place that we're not going.
We're see you and that's right. And stay online 1 second, you guys. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye. Thanks, chat room. See you later.
Good show, folks.
Can turn out to be so wrong. Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes, download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.
You didn't.
Yep.
I thought you learned your lesson.
I guess not.
Dad, the vultures are back.
Okay, kids, you know the drill. Windows up.
Gone too far looking for a good deal on gas? Try Price Match, only from BP Me Rewards at participating BP and Amoco stations. Learn more at bp.com/best price.
This Memorial Day, Lowe's wants to make your yard the place to be. With a new lower price on select bagged mulch starting at $2.88 a bag and a Charbroil 5-burner gas grill. Was $279, now $188. Stop by Lowe's in-store or shop online today. Lowe's, home to any budget, home to any possibility. Valid through 6/2/21 while supplies last. U.S. only. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.